Welcome to Teen Summit Talks, Teen Summit Interviews. I remember too many things. And then we can start the conversation. So I hope you're all being well. I hope you're looking after yourselves during this crazy time. And more importantly, I hope your spirits are, continue to remain high. Okay. So just logging in now, just waiting. Hi.
Hi. Good evening.
Hi. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me.
No worries.
Right. So I'm just gonna quickly introduce the topic of the conversation, and then I'll allow you to introduce yourself and everyone else. Yeah.
Yep.
So I was just explaining that what Teen Summit is all about. So we inspire the next generation to overcome their challenges, teaching them how to be resilient and how important resilience is. And how we do that is using examples of people that are successful in their fields or coming up in their fields to show young people that they can make those achievements. Yeah. So as I was saying before, last week I interviewed Rion Dillon from Cork City, yeah. And I was asked different questions from people after the interview, but we're going to discuss similar questions today with you. So first of all, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone that's listening and tuned in?
Hi everyone, I'm Joseph. I'm an Arsenal footballer, currently on loan at Cork City. And I'm just here to help people and kind of share knowledge.
Okay, your connection is not that great. I hope everyone, if anyone's got an issue with the connection, just let me know. If maybe it's just me viewing it wrong, viewing it slightly dodgy. All right, so at the moment, no one's saying that your connection doesn't look bad, so we'll just continue. Okay, first of all, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time out and taking time to speak to young people and anyone else that's listening. Okay, so my first question is your best memory from school.
Best secondary school memory. I've got a good one. Probably back in year 7. It's probably when we've just first gone to secondary school, and I think we went on our first football trip with the school team, and we all went to somewhere. It's quite far. It was in Shrewsbury. That was it. Went to Shrewsbury for about a week or so, and it was just kind of just with my friends. Everyone was we were sharing rooms and stuff. We all were in the same dorm, and it was real fun. It was real fun for sure.
Okay, and what area are you from in London?
South London, Bermondsey.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. All right, so at the moment you play for Arsenal, but you're on loan at Cork City at the moment.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right. So the question that was asked after I interviewed Rian, and I thought it was a really good question to ask, was have you experienced racism in football? And how do you deal with it if you have?
Cool. Me, myself, personally, I haven't. And I haven't really, it's not something I've come across, and I think I'm very fortunate and grateful that that's something I haven't had to deal with. That any environment I've been in regarding football has always been a very equal environment where everyone's been respected the same, and regardless of whether you're like of one race or another or one religion, like there's no prejudice or anything like that.
Thankfully, and hopefully you won't experience it.
Exactly.
Because even like when Rian was going to Cork, I was like, okay, is it diverse there? Like, are they accepting? Do they accept people from other? It's the team that you were going to wasn't predominantly a diverse team, and then they had a lot of new signings that made it a lot more diverse. So I was thinking about how would the fans receive and support you guys with that. So thankfully, luckily, you guys haven't experienced anything negative. So that's really good.
Exactly.
So it depends on if it's football or in your personal journey, but is there any decisions that you regret so far?
Personally speaking, this might seem as though I'm not one that looks back on any decision that I've made as one that I should regret. I've got a very positive outlook on just my walk through life aside football itself, and I don't really feel as though any decision I've made in the past is a wrong decision. When I look back on it and I'm damn, only if I had the chance to go back and change it. I'm very positive in just how I view football, how I view life in general, and I'm always looking to just keep moving forward and looking ahead. And I've got a great team around me, family, agents, friends, everyone around me. We keep that same kind of energy around us. So it's real nice to have for sure.
Yeah. How old are you?
20.
Right, okay. Right, so how long have you been at Arsenal for before you moved to
Um,
Cork?
since I was 13.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you were going, did you have to go to college there as well? Did you
So
do the college program?
yeah, so when I went up full time to London Colney, I started doing the MVQ stuff for the first 2 years.
Okay. All right, cool. Brilliant. Okay. So your who was your inspiration? Because I see a lot of quotes on your story on your
Yeah,
status.
yeah.
Very, very positive, inspirational. So who inspires you?
I've grown up in a very religious household, and for me personally, is when it comes to my inspiration, it's probably God, and just God, and just that my relationship with God, and just an understanding that I can know Christ the way I do, and my parents as well. My parents have been massive in that as well, because they're the ones that kind of introduced me to that way of life and the understanding, and I've just kind of grown with it, and I've gained that relationship. So that's on the personal side. But then on the football side, I'd probably say Sergio Ramos is my football inspiration. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And where are your parents from?
I'm Nigerian. Both parents are both Nigerian.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you travel? You been back to Nigeria? Do you travel there?
Funnily enough, I haven't. I was born there, but I left when I was a
Oh,
matter of like 13 months old, so I don't really know much. So any questions on
right.
how it is, I can't really answer.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So like thinking back to again, it can be career, it can be personal. Like what's your top three proudest moments in your life so far?
I'll probably give two from football and then one personal. I think my two like biggest moments I look back and I'm very like, yeah, I'm real happy with that. It's probably us winning the under 23s winning the Premier League International League, and like we
Mm.
won it at West Ham's home ground as well. So that's a story I
Oh,
always keep telling, because that's a nice little London derby. We get to rub that one in their faces. So that one, and probably let me say I think be when we came back from, I think we were losing a game against Villarreal in a semi-final, and we're losing 2-1, and then we came back to 2-2, took them all the way to extra time penalties, and then won on penalties. I was like, I think that was a nice achievement as well, because that was a different kind of feel with it all.
okay. Good. Okay, so we've got some questions coming in from some of the Cork City fans.
Cool.
So Luke wants to know, let me go back, sorry. Thoughts on the season so far. So obviously before all of this madness happened.
Yeah,
So he wants
yeah.
to know what are your thoughts on the season so far.
At Cork, I think it was like on the team note and just on the general note for the team, I think it was a good group of boys, and we're all very hard working as well, especially like we all wanted to kind of we're all buying into what the manager wanted to do. We were all buying into how the manager wanted to play, and just trying to keep the fans on board as much as possible, like because we knew the season they'd had before and how the fans were kind of feeling. So our thought was that, we've got to kind of keep the fans on board somehow. And we just tried to work as hard as possible each day. But unfortunately, the results didn't fall our way. But as we were going, we're kind of understanding things a bit better, and we were kind of gradually gelling together more. So although all of this happened, we're all moving in a very good direction, I must say.
Mhm. It's not easy. It isn't
No,
easy when you've got a team of a lot of new players. It takes
exactly,
time. It really does.
exactly.
So in terms of like, I know you're saying that your faith is something that you use to help you to, keep your spirits up high.
Yeah.
And I don't know how other people cope with stress,
Mm,
because obviously in football, when things are not going wrong, it's like you need to join something that is going to keep your spirits up quite
of
high.
course, of
And
course.
obviously with you, you have your faith that helps you to keep that positivity. So I think
Yeah.
that's really, really important, really important. So your biggest supporters, how have they helped you achieve your goals in football? And as in
Um,
your
just yeah.
aspirations in football?
I think my biggest supporters, to give out special mentions to my mum, my dad, my sisters, have been massive. Just kind of remaining there for me. Like there's some days I'll probably be out till about 12:30 because I'm coming back from a game and they're still all up waiting for me to get home. They're not going to go to sleep until I'm in, kind of thing, just calling and checking on me. Even when I'll go through hard times, maybe injuries and stuff, they've always just kind of been that kind of motivation that kind of keeps me going. Like, you know what, I can just keep driving. If I'm feeling a bit tired and stuff, I can keep doing it for them because they're always there supporting me. So I've got to kind of repay them as much as I can and just keep like just continuing.
So obviously your family are really, really important to you. So
Yeah.
moving to Cork, was that the first time you moved away from home for football?
Properly, yeah. But so when I was 16, I moved up to it was like an hour away from home. So this was actually the proper, like, I'm in a different country now, kind of away from home. Yeah.
Okay. And how are you finding that transition?
Um, I was looking forward to the challenge. Like it wasn't something. It was a bit daunting at first, but I think I quickly, shall I say, I quickly kind of adjusted and just like rolled with it. And I was like, you know what, I'm in the position now. I can't just now start moaning and be like, oh, I want to go home, kind of thing. Like I asked to be in this position. It's something I've looked forward to. So, and I know that my parents and my sisters, they're all there supporting me. So I know I've got that support from them. The best I can do is just stay strong and just get down and work.
Yeah, because you're like the poster boy, almost kind of like I see
Oh,
a
no.
lot of kind of turning like football model now, you know? So maybe that's a new
No.
career adventure for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's cool though. It's really, really cool. Well done. So your
Thank
most
you.
embarrassing time in football, if you've had any.
Um, oh, this one's a funny one to be fair. I was probably under 15 or under 16. I think I was under 16 and we've gone away for a tournament to Amsterdam with Arsenal. And in the first game, I think in the first, actually it was like maybe 30 minutes into the game, they've gone through on goal. They've gotten past the keeper. I'm running back onto the line. One of their players has like shot the ball into the ground. It's bounced up. And I'm thinking I can get there, but I couldn't. So I've kind of like poked my hand up to try and like tip it over the bar and gave away a penalty. I got sent off and they scored. But we drew the game. So
You know what? You had a similar moment like Rion did actually, because Rion said he put his hand up and it was
yeah,
like
no.
handball.
It's not.
Why he put his hand up,
Yeah,
you know? So
you get it straight away, but
yeah, it happens, isn't it? It happens.
exactly.
Obviously, like you signed for Arsenal, your first pro contract. What was it
Yeah.
like to actually get there? Like to, like you've worked so hard to get to
Mm,
that stage. What did it
mm.
feel like to actually sign that signing day?
I think it was really good. I was like full of so many nerves. Just kind of looking back on, you know what, I've worked so hard. I've dedicated myself to football, and I've actually been putting in so much work. And just up to that stage, I was actually now I'm finally I'm about to sign something that's going to mean a lot to me. That for me, it can then put me in a better position
Mm,
to kind of kick on and continue to work harder and look forward to, like, you know what, this is only the beginning. And if you do keep working harder, like, you can get bigger contracts hopefully. So no, it was a massive moment
yeah.
for me. Massive moment for me. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So in terms of like, I had this conversation with Rhea, and obviously being a mother of somebody who plays football,
Yeah.
it's really challenging as a parent to
Of course.
see your child really wanting something and it's
Yeah.
taking quite long to get. And as a parent, you're like, you need to think of another option just in case it doesn't happen. But at
No,
the
it's
same
true.
time, not
It's true.
damping their aspirations to be a footballer.
Yeah.
But that's just how some parents feel. We get quite anxious about your careers because
Mm.
you get injury, be out for ages,
Exactly. Yeah.
your contract can end, and it is quite a hassle, So yeah, so it's like it's really challenging as a parent.
No,
And I
it's not
don't know
easy at
how
all.
your parents supported you, but did anyone ever tell you that it wouldn't happen for you?
Yeah. 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 I had many teachers, like many teachers, and like, I would have gone and tried to different clubs and they'd say no and stuff. And I think the one that probably stands out is just I had many teachers supporting me, but at the same time I had many teachers that were trying to be that voice in my ear, kind of saying, you know what, maybe like you should go and try something else. Maybe try this. I had teachers say, you know what, you might as well stop playing football now and go into athletics. And it's hard because I was probably about what 12, 13, and for a young kid to be having, it's like you've built up this dream and you've almost got people that you're expecting to kind of support you and to help you. They're just like coming and just throwing like stones at a glass house almost, and they're just trying to shatter that dream. And it's tough, but I think I'm grateful for the people that did stay around and continue to encourage me, because they've helped me to the position I'm at now.
Yeah, I think, you know what, because like I said before, I'm a teacher and I've heard young boys say to me, I want to be a footballer.
Yeah.
And my response is, you need to work hard. That's what you need to do. So you need to have a balance of your education and also your football, because I think a lot of the times people only see what happens on the pitch, but they don't see the hard training that has to happen through the summer in the heat and through winter when it's really cold, literally, and you guys are all layered up. Honestly. You know, so the injuries that you go through, the verbal abuse that you go through, and now that we've got social media, the comments that you guys have to expect from people when you can't respond. There's so much around that resilience, you know. So I always, like, for me, my thing is that when I feel that somebody tells somebody that they can't do something, it's because they didn't do it. It's because they didn't make it. So they're projecting that energy. And maybe sometimes a little bit of jealousy as well, that you've got the opportunity to make it, to possibly that it's because you've got an opportunity to do something that they wanted to do. You know, so my thing as a teacher is I need my students to surpass me.
Exactly.
My job is to make them better than where I am in life. Definitely. You know, so we should never ever tell somebody that they couldn't or can't do something because we haven't done it. You know, so I'm so against that. So I'm so glad that it has happened for you, and I pray that it continues to develop and grow for you. You know.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay, so. One of the questions that was asked last week was, football it can be a very short career for some.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, do you plan your life around outside of football, like in terms of you might be interested in something else?
Yeah.
And it's not saying that you want it to replace it, but do you think about, even when you're earning a lot of money, do you think about, right, I need to invest in property, stocks or whatever, like to make sure that money keeps on flowing through, so it blesses your children and your children's children. So, you know, it's about inheriting that extra financial stability. So do you think about that in your planning?
Yeah, massively. I think you can't have like you said, you get some footballers, I think the days of footballers playing till they're about 40 is like slowly decreasing. You're getting footballers playing till at best maybe 33, and you're thinking you probably started football when you were like 19, 20. That's only a 14, 13-year career. And I think in that space of time, you probably start to make really, really good money like in the latter end of your career. And if you don't start to have an idea of how you want to save that money, how you want to look after that money, and how you want to like help that money grow, you're really going to find yourself in a tough position. Because at 35, if you've retired and you haven't had anything to go back on, you'll be stuck because you've got a lot of life to live, but you haven't really done much with that money and that responsibility that you've been given beforehand. And for me, I think I'm always thinking of what can I do, even whilst I'm playing football, what can I do that puts me in a good position for when I am now getting the bigger contracts and I'm in a better position that I've already set beforehand, like setting the foundation before you put everything else on top of it.
And I think your foundation is really, really important, because it surprises me that a lot of footballers are very close to having nothing because of the fact that some of them are earning 10,000 a week, 50,000 a week, and they spend it like it's £50 a week. That is quite dangerous. So how do you make sure that, let's put this into being now, in the next few years you're going to be earning 50k a week? How are you going to cope with that financial pressure from people that don't have the same money that you have, like your friends, looking after family? Do you think you're going to be one of those footballers that are buying cars and being quite careless? Are you going to make sure that?
I think you've got to be mindful of the people you have around you first and foremost, because if you've got people around you that aren't going to give you the right advice and expect you to buy them a nice flashy Rolex for their birthday and expect you to fly them out here and pay for all 20 people to go out, then you haven't really got the right people around you. And I think like I've said, I've got the right people around me. I've got my family. I've got a great agency around me. I've got very good friends, very good older like mentors I can look up to that are advising me on the right things to do, and they're telling me how to properly think of managing my money and how to look after it. So I don't see myself being in a position where I'm gonna go out and splash like my first paycheck on a Lamborghini, then go and buy a massive house and not think of putting the money away safely. No, not at all.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. That's really good to know. So just wanted to say thank you to all of the Cork supporters that are in
There's a
the
lot.
comments at the moment.
Thank you
We
all.
see ya. We see a lot of support for Nigeria at the moment. So big up
Appreciate it,
Nigerians
man. We
logging in.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So during this time now, during this pandemic, because I know that you and Rihanna have had your own private training sessions, how
Yeah,
are you keeping fit? Because you guys are going to get that call soon, and it's like, right, you guys are back in training
yeah.
next 2 weeks, and you need to get your fitness up straight away. So how are you making sure that you're keeping yourself fit?
But, even this morning, I did a Zoom hit session just in my living room. So I'm kind of finding every opportunity, using all my resources. Probably going because we're allowed to kind of train in smaller groups. So I'll probably go when I can, maybe 3 times a week, go and train with a few players and just kind of because it's something we're allowed to do now and go on runs if I can't go down and train with them and just like the simple things and eating well, looking after myself, making sure I'm getting enough sleep and not taking this time as a holiday per se because whenever the phone rings, like we've got to get straight back to it.
Yeah, yeah, because it's a job, isn't it? At the end of the day,
Yeah,
it's a job.
exactly.
You know? So we're gonna come to an end soon, but do you have anything to say to any of your Cork supporters?
Just thank you for tuning in. Like, thanks for all the support. I think the fans are brilliant. The fans have been great. Like, they've treated me with nothing but love and respect. And I didn't expect it at all. I didn't really. I just went there thinking I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna like play football, enjoy my time. And I've honestly really enjoyed my time. Really, really enjoyed my time. And I think just keep supporting the club. And yeah, hope everyone enjoys themselves.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna say that, when you guys go back, I really, really pray that you guys have a successful end to the season.
Thank
I
you.
pray that every single negative comment that is made so far about the new team, that you guys are going to prove everybody wrong.
Amen.
And I just wanted to big up Cork City for taking on the risk of taking so many new players
Pleasure.
and trusting in the ability of all the players. And I just
Exactly.
pray that it continues to grow and be the start of something really big for you all. And also want to say well done to your parents, for raising such a well-groomed, balanced young man,
Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you.
well done and congratulations to your parents, and may the success continue for you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you for tuning in with Rion's
That's
mum.
right.
Thank you for taking the time out, and like I said, safe journey back up to Cork when you do have to go back up there. And hopefully I would actually get the chance to meet you, when I do come back to London. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Really,
Thanks,
really
everyone.
appreciate your support. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay. So
Thank
thank you,
you.
Joseph. Thank you,
That's all right.
everyone.
Thanks for having me.
See you. All right.
Bye.
Bye.